Hello guys, so we are going to continue the discussion with respect to statistics. In this video, we are going to discuss about types of data. Now here, I have taken an example of a specific data set, so we have some features like DMC, DC, ISI, BUI, FWI, classes and region. And here you can see different kind of data that is probably available in this data set. Now, the main thing about data is that data is of different types, okay, and you really need to know all the types of data because this will actually help you to understand usually whenever you probably do a data analysis or you create a model, as a data scientist, you will be getting different kind of data sets. With respect to that particular data set, you really need to do the EDA, and for that you really need to have a good understanding of a specific data, right? So over here, we are just going to discuss the types of data, and I'm going to take multiple examples to show you this kind of types. Okay. So to begin with, data are usually of two types. One is quantitative and one is qualitative. Okay. Now, whenever we talk about quantitatives are nothing but these are a kind of numerical data. Okay. So these are numerical data. And since we say qualitative, this is nothing but it is a categorical data. Okay, so whenever we talk about quantitative data, these are nothing but numerical data. Whenever we talk about qualitative data, it is nothing but categorical data. We further divide quantitative data into two types. One is discrete and one is continuous. Now let me make you understand about discrete and make you understand about continuous by giving multiple examples. Whenever we say about discrete data, these are nothing but these are like whole numbers, right? Whole numbers basically means these numbers are not decimal, and these numbers are also positive. Okay, you need to understand this particular characteristics. Whenever we talk about discrete data, these are nothing but whole numbers, and it has to be positive. Some of the examples that I can probably consider over here are like number of bank accounts, right? So a number of bank accounts, whenever you go ahead and open a bank account, right? And if you ask how many bank accounts you have, you say at least I have 1, 2, 3 or 0 bank accounts. It cannot be negative. It always has to be a whole number. You cannot say, hey, I have 1.5 bank accounts. That is not possible. Okay. The other example will be that, let's say I will go ahead and write number of children in a family, right? So when I consider this example, we basically say, hey, how many children are there in a family? You may say 2, 3, 4. You cannot say 2.5. It is not possible, right? To have 2.5 kids in your family, right? So these are some of the examples, and this kind of data, whenever we have, these are nothing but these are whole numbers. Okay. And this is called as discrete data. Coming to the next one, which is called as continuous data. Continuous data basically means it can have any numerical value. Okay. So any numerical value you can basically have over here. Let's consider some example. One example I can consider weights, right? Weights can be, your weight can be positive, and trust me, this value also can be negative, but in the case of weights, it cannot be negative, right? So it may be positive, it may be negative, and it can have any value in short, right? So weights is over here as an example. Then you have height. You can say, hey, height can be like 6.7, it can be 6.1 or 5.7, 5.11, right? All this can be heights, and it can have a decimal value also. Then another example what we can consider is like temperature. So in the temperature also you can say 27 degree, 27.3 degree, 27.4 degree, like that, right? Along with that, one more example, if I go ahead and consider, it is nothing but speed. Hey, at what speed are you traveling? I'm traveling at 121.4 kilometers per hour, like that, right? So over here, with respect to continuous data, you can have any value. It can be decimal, it can be numerical, it can be a positive value, it can be a floating point number, it can be a negative value also. Okay. When I say negative value, say in temperature, you have minus 27 degree Fahrenheit. Okay. So you can probably go ahead and consider like that, right? Because there may be some kind of negative values also. Okay. So these are the basic differences between the discrete data type and continuous data type. Now let's go ahead towards the qualitative data type, which is also called as categorical data. So the first type in qualitative is something called as nominal data, and the second type is something called as ordinal data. Whenever we talk about nominal data, let me just go ahead and take some example. These are nothing but categorical data. In the case of nominal data, if I take an example of gender, right? In gender, you have two categories, male and female, right? So here we specifically don't do any ranking. Okay. So in nominal data, there will be no ranks. We cannot say, hey, male is greater than female or female is greater than male. Similarly, the next example that I can probably consider is blood group, right? So in blood group, you have different blood groups. We cannot rank it over there also. Similarly, one more example that I can probably consider is pin code, right? So pin code of different places will be different values. You cannot again rank it. But in short, these all are categorical values. Why categorical values or categorical data? Because there will be fixed number of data itself, right? And with respect to your data set, you may be having this kind of categories, right? So this was with respect to the nominal data. In the nominal data, you don't have any rank in these categories. Similarly, if I consider ordinal data, here we can assign ranks. These are categorical data, but here we can assign ranks. One example that I can give over here is customer feedback. Let's say customer is giving a specific feedback, and here with respect to the feedback, it is giving different categories: good, bad, better, right? So here we can rank it, right? So good will be 1 rank, right? Better will be 2 rank, and bad will be 3 rank, right? 1 rank basically means this is a very good feedback in short, right? So we can categorize this customer feedback in a fixed number of categories, and here also we can go ahead and assign rank. So this is the basic difference between nominal and ordinal rank data types. Okay. So again, to repeat with, data are of two types: quantitative data, qualitative data. In quantitative, you have two types: discrete and continuous. Some of the examples that we have seen: number of bank accounts, number of children in a family. In continuous, you can have any value: weights, height, temperature, speed. If I consider with respect to qualitative, there are two types of qualitative data type. That is nothing but, I'll not say data type, but there are two types of qualitative data. That is nothing but nominal and ordinal. In the case of nominal data, you have categories, fixed number of categories like gender, male or female, but here you cannot put any kind of rank on these categories. Similarly, in the case of ordinal, you can assign ranks. Okay. Now let's see this particular example. So here you can see that DMC is obviously a continuous value over here, right? Then you basically have this DC. It is also a continuous value. ISI is continuous value, right? So in quantitative, you have this continuous value, right? Then you have FWI. Then you see classes. Classes is a kind of categorical data, and these are fixed set of categories. Here we do not rank it, so this basically becomes a nominal data, right? In the case of regions, you have zeros or 1 values. This is also fixed number of categories, right? But it is represented in numerical format, so it can also be considered as a whole number. Okay. So this was about the types of data. It is important because whenever you get a new data set, you will be able to see that the data set will either be following this kind of data types itself. This types of data in short, right? It can be discrete, it can be continuous, it can be nominal, it can be ordinal. So I hope you like this particular video. This was about the types of data. I will see you all in the next video. Thank you.